From the Watergate Building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now, here's Hotline editor, John McCain.
Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John McCain.
And I'm Amy Walter. Earlier this week, Washington Whispers reported, quote, before he falls out of the top tier of GOP White House hopefuls, chief advisors to Senator John McCain are urging him to quit his day job and become a full-time presidential candidate. Just resign, one says he told McCain, show you're all in. So, is this McCain's best bet?
Yeah, because that worked so well for Bob Dole in 1996.
He won the nomination.
Didn't he do it after he won the nomination?
I don't
This was part
remember.
of the general election. You were just a kid back then, right?
I was in high school.
I mean, for those of us who were on the bus back in '96, which did not include me, there was absolutely no momentum that he gained out of doing that, that Bob Dole gained out of doing that. He actually didn't even, he got like a 2-point jump in the polls and then fell, continued to sort of stay where he was, about 10 points behind Clinton throughout the entire campaign. Look, there's nothing that John McCain can do, I think, at this point, except hunker down, retool his campaign, and try to reemerge later this year. He needs some time away from the spotlight, away from the top tier, even. Yeah. You know, Ronald Reagan had the same problem. John Kerry had the same problem. A lot of people sort of are ready to write the John McCain obituary. I'm certainly not one of them. I'm certainly not one of them. Absolutely not.
Really not? I know you've made claims before that it's dropping out before Labor Day.
It's summer. We're in the dating season. Republicans are dating. We're sweating a lot. People are sweating while they date. Republicans. Fred Thompson, Mitt Romney, Rudy Giuliani. People they don't know very well. Giuliani maybe not so much in the same category. They're getting to know these candidates. It's incredibly possible, if not likely, that these could ultimately be candidates who Republicans just sort of distance themselves from. I think McCain, if that becomes the case, has a strong chance of revival.
Well, okay, that brings up two issues, though, which is, one, would distancing himself from the Senate by leaving take away all of the baggage that he has from being a senator?
Absolutely not.
Right? So he still carries all that with him, whether he shows up on the Senate floor or not, whether he comes back for votes or not. He still is hampered by this. And by the way, he's been missing a lot of votes anyway to campaign, so it's not as if he's concerned about that.
Right.
I don't know if he loses that much by leaving the Senate. I mean, I agree he may not gain that much, but this is not a guy who seems all that happy there in the first place.
Right.
Absolutely nothing he wants to get done is getting through, whether it's immigration or campaign finance reform. This is somebody who's obviously not particularly popular among his colleagues in the Senate either. So why really, there's no need to really stick around.
The only reason I think that he won't even remotely entertain this notion is that this is someone who has tasted dramatic or widespread public approval, widespread sort of heroism within the American public. He's now sort of at the nadir of his political life, and to leave the Senate and face the, not to contradict myself, but to face the possible prospect of then losing the nomination, and to have his political career to end, I think, on this note, I think, is probably something that looks a little bleak.
Yeah, well, it probably does. But do you think that, short from a significant turnaround in Iraq, is there anything that will really protect McCain, this thing from not happening to McCain, this idea that he's going to leave sort of broken by, and that over time maybe the legacy will be written differently, but in the short term,
that's the question.
That's
the question. He'll have to sort of try to hold on, I think, for another couple of years in order to do that. But anyway, that's all we've got for today. Join us tomorrow when chief advisors to McCain urge the senator to rehire them.
Yeah, because that does help sometimes.
Either that or they'll go work for Fred Thompson.
For Fred Thompson,
which is entirely possible.